Uh-oh. There we go. I mean, it probably doesn't matter if I hear anything because it's just me. So there's no one here at all to talk to me. So this is a departure. Something happened with my earbuds. I can check though. I can check and see if I've got sound because
It's not family, it's clan. Mishkapet.
Mishkapet, everyone, and welcome. It's Thursday night. It's 5 o'clock out here on the Pacific Coast, and it's time for another episode of Kitty at Ibrit, which is the show that I usually get to hang out with a friend, and we sit around and read Hebrew text and translate it and talk nerdy shit about it. But as you can see, it's just me tonight. So I don't blame you if you're throwing your hands up in disgust and logging off. That's fine. I totally get it.
Are there female rabbis?
So, but truth be told, what happened was that it's been a crazy week for me. I am extremely short on sleep, and I was late in lining up a guest for tonight. Justin from Deconstruction Zone was potentially going to be here, but he's also in the process of making a move, so he's pretty busy until into June. So he probably won't be back until June. So here we are. It is just me. So this will be I don't know. I think this could be kind of fun because it's different. It's new. I like different and new. I hope you guys do too. I'm gonna run down the roll here. Faith by Faith is here. I thought of a really good ESV joke last night while I was falling asleep, but I don't remember it now. Make sure, everyone, when you think of a good ESV joke, to write it down somewhere, because the ESV jokes can strike at any time, and when they do, it's important to remember them so that you can share them with all of us. It's good to see Cenk, who is now also registered in my current Hebrew class, and good also to see Noise Ending from Hebrew class, and Mind Phaser. I don't know if I recognize you. It's like carbon dating. It's accurate, but with a window. What's happening? This is probably relative to a conversation that I am not tracking. Hypatia is here with a new avatar. Good to see. Good to see Hypatia. John Gooderham is here, and Triceratops is here. Guard is here. We'll get back to these in just a second. And yeah, there's a few other people trickling in. I Was Never Here is here, and hey, look, Simone just got here, and so did Prixie. You got to keep a notebook next to the bed so that you can when inspiration strikes, which is, I believe, that is the subtitle for the ESV. When inspiration strikes, when that happens, it's very important to get it down in writing, just like the prophets of old did. The moment they had a vision or a word from God, write it down. It's very important. And Kinetic 44, good to see you. So some of you have already started to compile your inspirations. John Gooderham notes that the ESV stands for the edited, stupid version. Noise Ending suggests the everything started vibrating. John Gooderham responds with ESV, every selfish verse Faith by Faith chimes in with even Satan vomits. Okay, so we need some ground rules here if this is something that that we're doing. I will read, I promise I will read every ESV retitling suggestion, but it must be prefixed with ESV colon. So, John Gooderham, I will use yours as a demonstration. If he had typed in ESV colon even shittier version, I would have read it. So that's how we do this. I was never here says ESV, everyone stays vocal, and follows up with ESV, electric saber-tooth vacations. Faith by Faith, ESV, Eastern Standard Volleyball. John Gooderham, oh no, I can't do that one. There's a few of these I can't do, guys. Guard, ESV, every sacrilegious verse. That's most likely. That's most likely true. I am quite sure. ESV, ephemeral sleep time visions. It's prophecy, right? That's it. It's prophecy. Absolutely. So I think I got them. I think I got them all up to this point. Keep them coming in. I will flag them as I see them when I see them. So as I said, it's just me tonight. If this is a new experience for you, if you are new to this space at this time, this is the show where I read Hebrew text, we translate it, and we talk about features of the grammar. We're going to parse all the verbs. I do this originally. Josh and I, Dr. Josh from Digital Hammurabi, and I did this as like a public service for seminarians and university students who are doing Hebrew, and kind of geared it to a second year reading level. I have continued this, and with the primary motivation to keep my own students engaged as I'm teaching more and more Hebrew. This is the place to keep my own Hebrew students engaged, and to help people generally, just with practicing the language, reading the language, hearing the language, understanding what's happening in the text in real time. So without further ado, the abomination just entered the room. He finished eating his dinner, and he came and found a spot promptly on the couch. Oh, look, he seems to think that, oh, here he is. He seems to think it's time. Is it time for a treat? Is that it? I think it might be. All right. There you are. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good doggy, aren't you? You're so very good. There you go. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Good boy. All right. Back to your typewriter. Okay. Oh, watch your feet. All right. I am going to pull up the text. Tonight, we are going to continue reading in the book of Zechariah. My current plan is to actually work the entirety of the way through the book of Zechariah. And we have completed chapter 1 and are starting in chapter 2. When Jace was here with me last week, we read through verse 3, I believe. Yes, we read through verse 3, or was it just verse 2? Maybe it was just verse 2. In any event, we will start with verse 3 tonight, and I will put the text on the screen here. There we go. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to read a verse and translate it and do the grammatical syntactical work. After which I will try to return to the chat to see if there's things that I missed that I can pick up. So yeah, stay engaged, everyone, and we'll see how this goes. All right. Verse 3. Vayar'eni Adonai arba'a harashim. And Yahweh showed me 4 craftsmen. I think this is a text a verse we might have finished off on last time. This is Zechariah's vision. He's already seen the angel of Yahweh in the grove of in the myrtle grove, and in the myrtle grove in the sea, as a matter of fact, and the 4 horsemen, as it were, who have been roaming the earth and looking for trouble and finding none. Everything is quiet, according to the text. And at this point, now, the prophet sees something new. He sees 4 horsemen. Sorry, not horsemen. 4 craftsmen, the harashim. So the verb here is oh, sorry, Prixie. Let me embiggen my cursor to help you out here. Oh no. Just give me a sec, guys, while I pull this up. So we're something else that we're going to do here tonight. And I might end up going a little bit longer just because I really do want to get down to, I think it's verse 8 or 7, I think. No, not verse 7. It's verse 9. I really want to get down to verse 9 because I have a treat to share tonight. Because there is there's some fun context, I think, on this particular text that I would just really like to share with everyone. So I'm just gonna fix my cursor here. Oh, not that one. Let's do that one. There we go. Nice big red cursor. That's what we like to see, isn't it? Okay. All right. So the verb here is as expected at the head of the verse, at the head of the sentence. This is, now my cursor does there. That's, oh no, there. That's better. So this is from ra'a. Ra'a is a third hey verb. Third hey verbs, when they take any kind of suffix, that hey is going to disappear, or it's going to shift and turn into a tav. Quite often a yod with a tav. In this case, what's happening is that this is a hiphil imperfect vav consecutive, third masculine singular. The subject of the verb is Yahweh. I have my pen. I can just do this too with the pen as well. So it's very interesting that it looks like this. It looks quite different on my screen, and I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, you know what? It's like frozen. Let me try this again. Sorry. Having some issues here. Okay. I have to reload my screen, I am afraid. So give me a sec here. There we go. Ah, that's better. Okay. Just pull this up. Dead air is the healthiest air. Not actually. They say it's bad. Okay, here we go. So, there's vayareni, which is the hiphil imperfect third masculine singular, with the vav consecutive. We see that marked by the patach underneath the vav here. The subject of this verb is Adonai or Yahweh, right here. It's a third masculine singular. He showed me. Hiphils are classically causative. He caused me to see In other words, he showed me. And we have this object suffix attached to the verb itself. Vayar'eni. He showed me for craftsmen. All right. I think that's clear for everyone. Moving on to verse 4. All right. Verse 4. Va'omar ma ele ba'im la'asot. Vayomer lemor. Ele hakeronot asher zeru et Yehuda. Kefi ish lo nasa rosho. Vayavo'u ele lahacharid otam layodot et karnot hagoyim hanosim keren el eretz Yehuda lazarota. All right, this is a longer verse here. Let's translate this, shall we? And I said, what are these men coming to do? He said, speaking, these are the horns who have scattered Judah. This expression here, this expression here, kifi ish lo nasarosho. Kifi ish, everyone alike, every man, I think here, whose head is not lifted. Everyone alike cannot lift his head, but these, that's the craftsmen, have come to disrupt them, to cast down the horns of the nations who are raising a horn to the land of Judah for its scattering, its dispersion at the end of the verse there. All right, let's look at the verbs here. First of all, whoopsies. Sorry, everyone. First of all, Va'omar is a cal imperfect first singular with the vav consecutive from amar, meaning to say or to speak. Ba'im is a cal participle masculine singular. This is a hollow verb. So the in this case it's a two vav verb. That middle letter is going to disappear in various forms, including the participle. Masculine plural. These are these ones who are coming. I translated as these men who are coming because it is masculine plural. La'asot is a cal infinitive construct from asa, another third hey verb. That hey is going to drop off and it's going to be replaced by this holem vav tav ending very consistently with the infinitive constructs, what they are to do. Then we have vayomer, lemor, both cal. The first is imperfect vav consecutive, third masculine singular from amar. The second is another infinitive construct prefixed with the preposition lamed. Moving on, zeru is a cal. Is it a cal or is it an if? Is it a PL? I have to double check this because it actually looks like it could be a PL to me. It is. This is a PL. Perfect. Oh God, where's my text here? This is a PL perfect masculine. PL perfect third plural from Zara. Now the question is raised. Some of you might be going, why did I look at this and go, this looks like a PL? What is the indication to me that this particular verb here is a PL. And what I'm seeing is shoot, I lose my space here quite a bit, guys. Oh, there it is. So what I'm seeing is this. It's an E-class vowel, but it's also a long E-class vowel, the tsare. And the reason it's long is because of compensatory lengthening. You cannot put a dagesh in that next letter, which would be the second letter of the root, which is something that you always have to do with the PL verb. This is a third hey verb. So compensatory lengthening. This is a PL perfect third plural. From zara to scatter. Nasa is a cal perfect third masculine singular from nasa, meaning to lift up or to raise. His head. Vayavo'u is a cal imperfect third common plural from bo, with the vav consecutive. These men have come. Lahacharid is a hifil, infinitive construct prefixed with the preposition lamed. Layadot is this should be, I'm just going to double check, but this should be this is a pia infinitive construct. Notice the dagesh in the middle radical here. This would be another third hey verb with the disappearing the disappearing hey on the end, and the holam vav tav ending. So it's from yada. And then we have again, this is a masculine plural, cal participle, from nasa. Though the nations, this is standing in an attributive position with hagoyim as a modifier. The nations, the raising nations, the nations who are raising up a keren, a horn. Attributive adjectives, and this would include participles that are functioning adjectively, must agree with the noun in gender, number, and definiteness. Please notice, pay attention that both the participle and the noun here are plural, masculine, and definite. The nations who are raising up a horn to the land of Judah in order to what? Here we have, again, this is another PL infinitive construct from Zara, prefixed with the preposition lamed, but in this case also suffixed with the third feminine singular pronominal suffix. All right, I'm jumping back to the chat here to see some things that I've missed. Guard suggests ESV early summer vacation. Hey, it is May the 21st. Feels like that works. Nom nom nom. That was for you, Dagon, I'm quite sure. Kinetic 44 ESV, eat some veal. What else do we have? Oh yes, Prixie. There we go. I got the pointer. You have to point to the words like for kindergartners. Damn it. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's hard to remember how to keep all this stuff straight. I hope I get better as we go through this. So, yeah, this is true. Storytime Jesus. This is the angel hangout in Zechariah. Kinetic 44 says, was it always the angel of Yahweh, or is that a later redaction like Jacob wrestling with Yahweh's angel? Shoot, I'm late on this because this seems like it was probably a little while ago. Where the angel of Yahweh is, or is like Jacob wrestling with Yahweh's. Oh, wait a minute. So I see what you're saying. In that story of Jacob wrestling with Ale, or an Elohim. This is not an angel. This is not the angel of Yahweh at all. There is never identified as the Malach Adonai. That is, it is literally, it's just a divine being. It is God in the story from Genesis, where what we have here is clearly the angel of Yahweh, because it is spelled out explicitly as such. So good stuff. Yeah. Schenk notes that third hey verbs are often secretly third yod verbs. And the reason for this is because that hey is going to very often just shift over to a yod. Oh my God, Eric, sweet child. What is an ESV? It is the worst English Bible translation. Perhaps you were saved from that little bit of knowledge by the fact that that you are a sofer, and didn't have to deal with evangelical bullshit for a lot of your life. I'm guessing. Let me know. Really? Oh, Faith says, I really wish I could learn Hebrew, but I have to imagine my dyslexia would make it very expensive for me. Potentially, right? But as well as time consuming. If you have some Prixie points out, as a very dyslexic person learning Hebrew, it's rough, and Prixie is hanging in there. And I really appreciate it a great deal. Oh, hey, here's a suggestion. You could learn Hebrew Sign Language. That sounds pretty cool. Spelling might become easier. So, more information. Biblical Hebrew, verb, subject, object. Once you internalize that, understanding the sentences becomes easier. That is very true. Brandon Runyon, who did a biblical Hebrew course, I believe, with Joshua Bowen. Is that right, Brandon? I think that's right. Brandon and I were in Josh's Akkadian class together, and he points out that he learned some biblical Hebrew solely because I made fun of Michael Jones for not knowing. Did I shame you into this? Oh my God, dude, you're not even on YouTube. But if you are, then yeah, you absolutely should be learning Hebrew. But you know what? I don't feel bad. I don't feel too bad about that. So cool. I think I'm basically all caught up. Yeah, I don't think you can wrestle with the angel of death and live, right? No, I doubt very much that that's something that you could do. But I also am unclear. I don't know. All right, let's move on to verse 5, everyone. Okay, Prixie, I'm getting my pointer ready here. Y'all see it? Here we go. Can I move this thing? Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I just moved that. Okay. Pull this back up here. All right. Va'esa enai va'ere v'hine ish uv yado hevel midah. All right. And I lifted my eyes, and I looked, and behold, a man, and in his hand was like a measuring rope, like a measuring line, a string, a long length of rope for measuring things, is in his hand. All right. So the verbs, the first verb here is va'esa. This is I believe this is let me just double check this. So yeah, this is it, because this is a first noon verb as well as a third aleph verb. It's a little bit tricky at the outset, and it's got there's a few things going on here that I'll point out. So this is a cal imperfect first common singular with the Vav consecutive. Now, the Vav consecutive is pointed with a comments as opposed to a patach, and the reason for that is because the first letter here is the verbal prefix is an aleph, which does not take the dagesh. Therefore, you've got to lengthen the vowel underneath the Vav consecutive. The next thing we have going on here is we have the dagesh appearing in the scene. This is standing in place for the quiescent noon. The noon has disappeared because it is weak. The root is nasa. I lifted up my eyes. And then we have va'ere is a cal imperfect. Third, cal imperfect. First singular from ra'ah with the Vav consecutive. I looked, and that's it for the verbs. All right. Oh, it looks like Chuck showed up. Good to see you, Chuck. You are late. How many verb stem conjugations have I missed? Oh, quite a few actually. Verse 4 was chock full of them. Get it? Chock full of them. See what I did there? All right. Just looking here. Yes, thank you, Eric. Eric Castaneda. Aleph takes no dagesh except once or twice in the my abbreviation is, help me out with that one, please. I struggle with the abbreviations when they appear in English. All right, so that's for verse 5. We're going to move on to verse 6. Va Omar Ana Ata Cholek Vayomer Eli Lamod at Yerushalayim Lerot Kama Rachba Vakama Archa. Probably Archa. I should make that cough a little bit harder in my pronunciation because the Bagad Kafat letter here has the dagesh lene. All right. The translation. And I said, where are you going? Speaking to the it is a man, right? It is. There's a man with a measuring line. Speaking to the man with the measuring line, I said, where are you going? And he said to me, to measure out Jerusalem, to see, this is like, it's like to see like its width and like its length. Basically, to see how long, how wide and how long it is, the city here. I'm translating these third feminine singular pronominal suffixes as neuters just to soften the translation. These are with reference to Jerusalem. Yerushalayim is feminine. All right, the verbs appearing in this passage here, starting with va'omar. This is a cal imperfect. First common singular from amar with the vav consecutive. I don't have to unpack that one. I don't have to unpack vayomer, which is a cal imperfect third masculine singular with the vav consecutive. La mode is a cal infinitive construct prefixed with the preposition lamed from mada, and this means to measure. Also, oh wait, hold on. Is it from? It might be from. Let me check on the root here. And I think I missed one too. I missed. I'll go back and get Holeg. Oh yes, this is a Geminate. It's from Madad. Okay, that is why if it was from Madad with the hay, it would be Lamadot. But this is Lamod. The root here is Mem Dalet Dalet, which means to measure. Yes. So yes, the infinitive construct is measuring out Jerusalem. Lera'ot. Here we have an infinitive construct, third hay verb, with where you can see that hay has been replaced by the holam vav tav ending to see, and that's it for the verbs. All right. Just looking back at the chat here. Oh yes, this is what I thought it was, but I didn't want to guess the Nevi'im and the Ketuvim. Okay, but not the Torah. Interesting. Okay, so these are the second and the third part of the divisions of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. Oh, apparently we're in the chuck joke phase of the relationship. You damn right we are. We can only go forward from here if you can do one I haven't heard before. Come on, man. That is not fair because I'm sure you have heard them all. Damn it. So, who is the angel of death? The angel of death appears as a discrete figure in the story of the 10 plagues. Appears briefly, but whose reputation and memory lives very large in the text. The angel of death is called so because this is the figure who carried out the death sentence on all the firstborn children of the Egyptians in the 10th plague, and presumably any firstborn children of the Israelites who carelessly forgot to brush the blood on their door frames to ward off the angel of death. But we're not told about that. I'm speculating. The angel of death is an emissary from the Holy One, Baruchu, blessed be he. Correct. All right. Oh, Jeff Hanneman wrote Angel of Death. Good to know. There's a lot of talk about Nazis that I'm not following, but that's okay. I'm moving on. All right. Back to the text. Oh, sorry, I forgot Holech, didn't I? Holech is a cow masculine singular participle from halach. Notice the vowel pattern here with the long O vowel in the pre-tonic syllable. It also takes that long E class vowel in the tonic syllable as well. So this is very characteristically what participles in the cow look like. Good stuff. Moving on to verse 7. Vehene ha-malach. There he is, the angel. Ha-dover bi. Yotze. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Vehene ha-malach ha-dover bi yotze. Umalach acher yotze. Likrato. This is some interesting stuff going on here, because what we have is, and look, the angel who was speaking with me was going out, and another angel was going out to meet him. Let's look at the verbs, shall we? Hadover. Very interestingly, this is a cow participle, masculine singular, with the definite article. The reason this is interesting is because davar as a verb most frequently appears in the PL. But here we have one of these interesting rare cal forms. Means the same thing as far as we're aware, or whatever nuance there is in the meaning shift between the cal and the PL is now lost. Yotze appears twice here. This is these are both cal participles, masculine singular, from yatsa, meaning to go out. And finally, lekrato is a cal infinitive construct with the prefixed preposition lamed, the preposition to, and it is suffixed with a third masculine singular pronominal suffix. The one angel, or sorry, the other angel went out to meet him. That is the angel who was speaking to me, speaking with me, who also went out. All right. Hope that's clear. Oh, look, guys. Primordial Puggles is here. And my friend Titan Uranus. It's fun to say it. Everybody right now, just call out in your outside voice into your computer microphone at the same time. Titan Uranus. Welcome. And he asks, isn't the angel of death the one with the flaming sword guarding the entrance to Eden? No, there is no one holding the sword guarding the entrance to Eden. What is guarding the entrance to Eden, which is super fucking weird, is a sword that twirls, a flaming sword that twirls around, and two cherubim, throne guardians, fearsome creatures. So it's good. It's a good thing you came when you did, Titan, so that you can learn something. All right. Moving on to verse 8. How are we doing for time? Okay. Good stuff. All right. Vayomer elav ruk daber el hanaar halaz lemor perazot teshev Yerushalayim merov adam uv chema betocha. All right. There is a handful of unusual vocabulary words here in verse 8. And he said to him, so stepping back here, who is speaking? We have the angel, another angel who went out to meet the angel who is speaking with me, who went out. I will venture to suggest that it is this malach acher, this other angel, who is the one speaking here. And he said to him, and he said to him, run, say this to the Na'ar, to the boy. Jerusalem sits unwalled because of the high number of men and cattle in it. All right, the verbs here, we have vayomer. We most likely know cal, imperfect, third masculine singular, with a vowel consecutive from amar. Roots, daber. Roots is these are both imperatives. Roots is a, pretty sure this is a cal or no, I think maybe this is a PL imperative. This is a tricky one. I gotta look this one up. All right. So, oh no, it is a cal imperative. Run. Daber is a PL imperative. These are both masculine singular imperatives. Notice with the PL, you have the dogish appearing in the middle radical And then we have, just looking here, to the boy, this boy saying, oh yes, so we have here le mord. This is a cal infinitive construct from amar with the prefix preposition lamed. Teshav is from yashav. This is a first yod verb, and the yod will very often disappear with the addition and the attachment of verbal prefixes in the imperfect. So this is an imperfect third feminine singular. We know this is third feminine singular because the subject here is Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is feminine. Yerushalayim sits, and that it's yosh from yashav, meaning to sit or to dwell. And it sits without walls. That's what this word here is. This unusual word. Peradzot is unwalled. It's the walls were destroyed by the Babylonians, and it's still there, unprotected. And then and I think that's it there for the verbs. All right. Oh no, is that true, Triceratops? Someday I will make it through this stream without motherly phone interruptions. I guess this is it's that time of day, I guess, for you, where you're either on the phone with your mother all the time or your children. So I'm not sure which one of those it is, but good luck with that. All right. The Slayer mascot on the first album cover held a flaming sword. Nice. Who holds a flaming sword in the Bible? Help me out, chat. Is there anyone in the Bible that holds a flaming sword? I'm not sure. We know that one of the angels in this text is holding a sword. No word if it's on fire. All right. Let's see here. Just scrolling through. Oh, the kitties say cuddle. That's wonderful. That's why you're here, Titan, and to mod my chat so effectively as you do. But this one, you know what? The Thursday night streams are always really tame. These are pretty easy. Yeah. Oh, this is. I'm kind of interested in this too, and I was honestly unaware about how much the dyslexia affects my my Hebrew students. Simone says, dude was like, hey, can I have a look at that? It looks cool. And the angel was like, sure, I guess. And the guy ran off with it. All right. Boy, you guys are very chatty tonight. This is good. Cherubim and a flaming sword in Genesis, right? Absolutely. You got that right, Chuck. Okay, we are moving on to verse 9, and we're going to finish up with verse 9 tonight. And I've got something else to talk about in connection with verse 9, because this is one of these texts for me that is a teaching moment, but not in the way that you think. So I really want to take advantage of these teaching moments when they present themselves. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time. So I hope you bear with me for a few additional minutes while I camp on this verse a little bit. And it's the right thing to do here, because as you can see, on the heels of verse 9 is a petucha. This is an open paragraph break, meaning this is the end of a major section. So we stop here. We're gonna stop here today. Okay. All right. Va'ani ehya la ne'om Adonai chamat esh saviv. So not the sword. The sword is not on fire. Something else is. Ul chavod ehya betocha. The translation. This is Yahweh speaking. And the reason we know that is because it says, Ne'um Adonai, an oracle of Yahweh. I myself will be for it, for the city, an oracle of Yahweh, a wall of fire round about, Saviv, and for glory I will be in it, in the middle of it. So Yahweh will be a wall of fire that surrounds the city, and also will the glory and the presence of Yahweh will remain inside the city of Jerusalem. I didn't plan anything for this, but some of this raises to my mind the presence of Yahweh indicated, and this is probably a later distinction. The kavod Adonai, the kavod Yahweh, the presence of Yahweh, is a more euphemistic way of speaking in some of these late texts about the presence of Yahweh. Let me know, Simone, if you guess correctly, because I'm not even sure if this is going to be an anecdote about the class that Kipp has told before. I might have, but I have a tendency to repeat myself. I don't have any new material. It's all just recycled material. But you know what? Most of you guys have memories like goldfish. I'm just joking. No, of course that's not true. I shouldn't say that. But anyways, the glory of Yahweh residing in the middle of the city of Jerusalem brings to my mind the function of purification in the sacred spaces as a way of ensuring that they were suitable for the ongoing presence of Yahweh. I think there's probably some of that at work in the background here. Let's look at the verbs. Ehya appears twice. And this is a cal imperfect. First, singular. I will be from Haya. And that is it. It is just the two verbs. All right. Noise ending has a memory like a jellyfish. Hypatia is always distracted. And Faith by Faith has ADHD. So I feel like... and Gwar just pretends to forget to humor me. So I don't have any new material. I should hope not. You study ancient texts, and having new material caused a lot of problems for Skyn and the Greens. Oh my goodness, Simone, that deserves something. Not entirely sure what, but that deserves something. What shall we give you for that? You know what? This is just funny enough and disorienting enough to confuse everybody.
Community. We're here for the community. Community. We're here for the community.
There you go. Oh, thank you very much, Adrian Belgrave. That's very nice of you. Titans on it. All right. So, in this last passage, this is the word from Yahweh to the people who are living in the city that is unprotected. It is unwalled. And he says, I will be a wall of fire surrounding you, and my presence will be, my glory will stay in the middle of the city. Why is this significant? Well, I wrote a blog. I don't have my own blog, but I've contributed on other blogs before. And a few years ago, I wrote a blog post which was on an entirely different subject. I'm going to shrink my cursor here while we huddle in, guys. So, and we talk. So I wrote a couple of years ago. I wrote a blog post, that I called. I'm just going to scroll up to the. It's quite long, so bear with me. So, all right. Just going to put this on the stage here for everyone to see. Good to see you, Robin. Welcome. Oh, did Katie Lewis? Oh, there we go. Oh, Katie Lewis has ADHD and autism, and unfortunately is registered in my upcoming learning Hebrew through the Book of Jonah class. So my hopes and prayers for you, Katie, is that it will be productive, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure that that you find success. Very excited to get started. By the way, next week in learning Hebrew through the Book of Jonah, next Wednesday night, as a matter of fact. You can still sign up for the class, but yeah, it's starting soon. All right. So a couple of years ago, I wrote a blog post over at the excellent blog belonging to Ben, the amateur exegete. The blog post titled "Good God, an Anatomy of a Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Book Review." And the reason I wrote this blog post is because I had read Francesca Stavrakopoulou's excellent book, God and Anatomy. I enjoyed it immensely. And then I read a multi-part screed authored about how terrible this book was by a gentleman who has a PhD in biblical studies, but really, I feel like waves this credential around inappropriately to promote some of his very bad takes. This was one of them. As I came to discover, looking into this guy a little bit more, he goes under the name the Blue Collar Bible Scholar. He actually wrote a review of my book, God's Propaganda, more recently. He hated the book, just absolutely hated it, and that's great. But if he hated my book as much as he hated Francesca Stavrakopoulou's book, I got to tell you, I think that's good for me. I really do. So I was pretty frustrated by a lot of things that he put forward in his multi-part book review. So I decided to do one of the things that I enjoy doing, which was to deconstruct it on a number of important points, I think, here. Just to give you a rundown, what is wrong with Joel Edmund Anderson's review and why did he write it? I'm just going to give you the bullet points here. To my mind, there's a handful of problems with the way that Joel approached this book. The first of which was attempting to identify modern ideologies that in his mind, in his imagination, are interfering with what he thinks is the original context of the Bible. I mean, this certainly can happen. I do not believe this is what Francesca Stavrakopoulou is guilty of doing. As a matter of fact, I think she has an exceptional handle on the original context of the Bible. I also think she's a sensitive scholar, meaning that she can appropriately key in on contemporary situations and needs in our culture and addresses those carefully from the perspective of the biblical text as it was originally written and intended. Second, he goes on about atheist readings of the Bible and how they're a threat to Christianity. I don't think I need to say anything more about that because the text is for everyone. It's not just for Christians. Certainly not just for Christians. This dumbass just fails to recognize that it is a Jewish text, which is based on ancient Hebrew, is Israelite texts, because of course he does. The text is for everyone. And because it's for everyone, everyone has a voice. Everyone has something to say about the text. Third, the Bible is special. Comparative literatures and material culture from the ancient Near East be damned. This is just a special pleading argument about the Bible that fails to understand the importance of contextualizing the text within its broader ancient Near Eastern context. Fourth, the final form of the text and supposed anachronistic projections. All Joel Anderson cares about is the Tanakh. He doesn't provide any attention to the history of the development of the text, the original setting of the text. All he cares about is this final product, the Hebrew Bible, and I just simply think it's a valid way to approach the text if your goal is fairly narrow. I'm more interested in broader, more inclusive goals of the text. So 5, there is a figurative veneer to save the text and images from themselves. Very often, Joel Anderson investigates the text as if in a way of saving parts of the text which are challenging by reducing these to metaphor or to hyperbole or to elements of the text that he thinks are figurative. So, and maybe is this I think this is where, and really a big part of Joel Anderson's agenda here in his screed against Francesca Stavrokopoulou is to denigrate the entire discipline of modern critical biblical studies, which is a real problem. It's certainly something I have a real problem with as a critical biblical scholar. So, and this is really what I want to focus in on. And I'm just going to read this. Joel Edmund Anderson's analysis of Stavropoulou's book, God and Anatomy, reveals a disturbingly shallow view of biblical studies. Joel has defined the idea narrowly and exclusively within a theological program that maintains the sanctity of the divinely inspired biblical text and also its totality as a complete work that is exempt from deconstruction. In his final blog entry of this series, he tells a story to illustrate his point about the futility of reading the Bible outside of his own constricting model. It is one of particular interest to me, since he claims that this is something that took place at my own alma mater, Trinity Western University School of Graduate Studies. And that's where I also have a special interest in the ongoing work of Joel Edmund Anderson, because it's fascinating to me that he and I graduated from the very same graduate program within a very short period of time with one another. He was 1 year or 2 years behind me, I think. And yet we come to such, in many respects, diametrically opposing conclusions with respect to the biblical texts. He says that this happened in an Aramaic class and then adds a caveat to advise his audience about how difficult language study is in biblical scholarship. Simply put, he says, learning all the grammar was challenging. It took me more time to get it down. But fear not, dear reader, for while Joel may not have been the most erudite student of languages, he continues, when it came to understanding and interpreting literature, this is where I excelled. And with that self-congratulatory preface in view, on with the story. Now, before we continue, I hope you can see on the face of it just how absurd this is. How much can you excel at understanding and interpreting literature that you struggle to read? Really? Here's this story. In any case, in that Aramaic class, I, along with most of the other students, struggled to slog through all the vocabulary and grammar rules. Hebrew students are feeling this right now. We spend most of our time basically learning, reviewing, and repeating the many, many rules that come to play in unpacking this written text, this beautiful language. One student, though, was just a natural at all that. Every single quiz or assignment, it was guaranteed that Bob would not only get 100%, but would ace every bonus question as well. Some people are just really good at vocabulary memorization and grammar rules. And if you're going to become a keen student of the text, it certainly helps to be very good at vocabulary memorization and grammar rules, the building blocks of our texts. During one class, though, we got slightly off topic and somehow got looking at Zechariah 2, particularly 2 verse 5. He's reading this text. This is a tell, everyone. He is reading this text in English because this is 2 verse 9 in the Hebrew text, where Yahweh, speaking about Jerusalem, says, "For I will be a wall of fire around it, says the Lord, and I will be the glory within it." When the professor asked how the verse should be interpreted, and I think this is a made-up story, because in my time in grad school, I don't think at any point any of my instructors asked such a banal question as, what is the interpretation of this verse? At this level that you're working at in grad school, the questions pertaining to the text are much more refined and nuanced than just that. Certainly, they're all veering into this direction, but seriously, the complexities abound at this level. So when he asked this banal question, I said that wall of fire was obviously a metaphor that spoke to Yahweh's future protection of his people. Immediately, Bob interjected and objected. How can you know it's a metaphor? It seems pretty obvious, I said, unless you really think God is saying he's going to be a literal wall of fire around Jerusalem. Bob just looked at me and said, well, why can't it be a literal wall of fire? And then proceeded to give a lexical and linguistical rundown of how chomat really means wall and Aish really means fire, and therefore wall of fire means wall of fire. Not a metaphorical wall of fire, but a literal wall of fire. At the outset, I must confess I find most of the story absurd. Setting aside that for some reason an Aramaic class drifted into a discussion of the Hebrew text of Zechariah 2, it is impossible for me to believe that there are graduate students working in the humanities that struggle as much as Bob apparently did with the basic concept of metaphor. But I do think that if this is a retelling of something that actually took place, it is more likely that Joel is misunderstanding what happened. It seems much more plausible to me that a discussion of this nature could have been had in a graduate school setting about the visceral reality of images like that of Yahweh, the wall of fire, within an ancient Jewish worldview. These are, after all, the same people who saw Yahweh in a burning bush in Exodus 3, verse 2, and in a column of flame in chapter 13, verse 21. So, while we are accustomed to viewing these types of phrases as literary flourishes, we should not so quickly dismiss the real sense with which God was thought to appear for the ancient Israelites and Jews. As Joel himself has reminded us, these texts are, this is a quote from him, testimony and revelation of a very real God's involvement in the history of Israel. What could be more real than an actual wall of fire? Joel continues. He was dead serious. I was dumbfounded. The class soon moved on, but at that moment something clicked in my head regarding something that had bugged me from the time I was at, this is Regent College, which is just up the road from where I live on the UBC campus. Up through my time at TWU, Trinity Western University, I realized that there are a whole lot of scholars and academics who are really good at grammar, lexicons, linguistics, and dissecting every word and phrase down to the most infinitesimal detail. You know what we call scholars and academics who can do this? We call them fucking good scholars and academics, but who simply do not know how to read the biblical literature. Are you serious? Are you joking? Really? Having an exceptional grasp on the language and the text somehow handicaps one's ability to read the biblical literature. Is this a farce? Ask anybody who has read any number of Bible commentaries or journal articles, and they will attest to the fact that the majority of time scholars obsess, because that's bad, over the historical critical minutiae concerning things like textual variants, roots, etc., but never get around to trying to explain what the actual text means and how it reads. I think this is a skill issue for Joel. As a side note, Bob was also taking courses at Regent, so I asked a friend of mine who was still there about Bob. My friend told me he always came across as an arrogant know-it-all. Or maybe he made people feel stupid because he knows what the hell he's talking about. So that's the end of Joel's story. Perhaps more perplexing, however, is the conclusion that he draws from this story and how Joel has connected Bob's giftedness with the languages to his arrogance. There's a subtext here that serves as a message about critical scholars, and it bears repeating. Ask anybody who reads any number of Bible commentaries or journal articles, and they will attest to the fact that the majority of time scholars obsess. Obsessive people do things pathologically. It's unhealthy. Scholars obsess over the historical critical minutiae concerning things like textual variants, roots, etc. Like, because why the hell would we want to know anything about those things? but never get around to trying to explain what the actual text means and how it reads. In other words, arrogant, know-it-all scholars cannot see their nose for their face, and for all their book smarts, cannot match Joel's excellence in understanding and interpreting literature. It's not something you learn. Is it something that is perhaps God-given? Biblical scholarship is not theology. As critical readers, biblical scholars are methodologically bound to expositing the biblical text within a naturalistic framework. Biblical scholars are historians, philologists, and literary critics, scholars in the humanities, and as such, they hold as primary an interest in the humanity of the text and the human world behind it. This necessarily means that the text must be ruthlessly deconstructed before any reconstruction can occur. This means that in an absence of reliable textual data points, material culture is given some priority. This means that in an effort to understand what the Bible is and where it came from, we must proceed with some suspicion about its claims for itself. This is the end of the article here, and I'll just read my conclusion. Francesca Stavrokopoulou concludes her book with a reflection on the teaching of the 12th century Sephardic scholar Maimon. I always struggle with the guy's name. Damn it. You know this guy. Maimonides. Thank you. There we go. Maimonides. I hope I didn't completely butcher it. God is not a body, he insisted. There is absolutely no likeness in any respect whatever between him and the things created by him. For Maimonides, anthropomorphic portrayals of God in the Hebrew Bible simply served as a means of instructing worshippers by speaking to them about God in the language of ordinary people. The point of Jewish worship, Maimonides argued, was intellectual and spiritual transformation, so that by keeping the commandments of the Torah, the enlightened worshiper would not only better understand the commandments, but learn to dispense with the ordinary language of their scriptures and come to comprehend the true nature of God as a timeless, changeless, immaterial deity, wholly unlike anything in the created realm. Joel Edmund Anderson is like Joel Edmund Anderson is like Maimonides, y'all, in that he cannot read the Bible without first reconstructing it to fit his God. That is not biblical scholarship, and that is why this particular book review sucks. All right. Thank you for sticking around, the 20 of you who did. Simone, you have to tell me because I have not been paying any attention to the chat. Oh, yeah, call him Roundbomb. That's easier. Just call him Roundbomb. What did you guess right, Simone? Did you guess right about where I was going on my tangent of the text? I'm very keen to know if you did. Just gonna look here for a couple of things as we finish up. Yeah, that's the word, right? Philologists. This is what philologists do. I actually worried that if I use that word, I was going to have to define it. But I also worried that if I use that word, poor Joel would not get it at all. So, yeah. This is it, right? I don't know shit about Hebrew, but I can't imagine it's any less important to know grammar than it is in English. I mean, when in English, many of us first language English speakers intuit the grammar. It's built in. It's part of our functional language, right? when it comes to reading the biblical texts, you actually need a more philological sense of how the language works. So Joel Edmonton Anderson Joel Edmonton Anderson should read the intro to Ben Sommer's book, The Bodies of God and the World of Ancient Literature. He'd either die or learn something. Isn't that the truth? He'd probably die so as not to lose his theology. Yes. What the fuck is the actual text, Joel? Being the good Reformed Jew that I am, Eric says, I have no problem with accepting that we were polytheists who progressed towards monotheism and towards agnostic theism and beyond, but the Tanakh is our family story. Yeah, it is. So, it's good to see you here, DeFreak. Thanks for coming in. It's wonderful for showing. Wait, what is so? Not only is this great means for causing doubt for believers in their understand. It's wonderful for showing the scholars are fallible and, more important, not believable. I feel like this perhaps might be on Joel's on the side of Joel's perspective here, and I just have to say that you're wrong. Katie Lewis says, to be fair, I could see a professor trying to get a conversation started by simply just saying, what do people think this means? Yeah, potentially. These sorts of in my experience, though, in grad school, these sorts of conversations are not difficult, or these conversations are not difficult to get started, because everybody working at this level is already has this pretty intense interest in what's going on. But it's possible, right? Thank you. I was never here. ESV, eager, sacred vasectomy. If you go back, you'll see that I guessed in the chat before you got there. Good. All right. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for guessing correctly. Wow. That is impressive. All right. Well, I have taken up enough of everyone's time. Once again, thank you for hanging around with me. It was just me tonight, but I really appreciate it. Thank you for bearing with me while I teach a little bit about the importance of learning the language, the importance of being good at the languages, for informing other people, and for sharing the wonder of the biblical text with people who I think, frankly, need to hear it. It's a global text. It's a really important text. It's something that everybody should know. I think we'd all be better off for it. All right. So thank you again for being here, for showing up, for hanging out. Next week, I should tell you about what's going on tomorrow. I will be back for my regular Friday live stream. Vish is going to be off for a couple of weeks, and I have another person filling in while she is off. Ryan Koltastic is a content creator here on YouTube. She started doing a lot of cult informative kind of material. She was a former Jehovah's Witness. She's shifted more recently developed a real strong fascination with Canaanite religion. Ryan's quite bright, I think, and I invited her to come and spend some time with us while Vish is away. So come and hang out tomorrow and check it out. That's at 2:00 in the afternoon. And then let's see what's coming up. Next week it's just the same stuff as usual. I'm going to be back for Kitty Ibrit next Thursday, and my special guest, I'm excited because this is his first time. Dr. Dan McClellan will be joining me to continue reading in Zechariah 2. So don't miss it, guys. Dan McClellan's going to be here, and that's going to be super fun. Shane Doan is your god, the freak. All right. Oh yeah, we're still working that out. When are Maya and Shannon Q coming onto the channel? I have to touch base where the last I left this, Shannon Q said that she had to sort out softball season. So and that she would probably not know until sometime in May. So I need to wave at her again and see if we can nail down a date. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Speaking of the fabulous Maya Adkisson, the Queen Goddess of Awesomeness, I will be on Bad Science Sunday, this Sunday evening at 9:30 Eastern with Maya and her co-host, and Maya, also my co-host, everybody's favorite trench coat full of astrophysicist weasels, Dr. Tapioca Weasel. Please come and join us on Sunday night. It's going to be a fun show. It always is a fun show over at Bad Science Sunday. So yeah, we shall see you around. What is this? Does that mean you're not? Oh geez. So you know what? We shall see, because I never do bingo when I'm actually on Bad Science Sunday, because it's too much for my tiny little brain to do. I might try it. We'll see how it goes. But it's very likely that I won't be doing bingo. But yeah. So everyone, you know the drill here by now. Thanks for showing up.
I can say, Ahav Tika, I love you.
All right. Be good. Stay safe. And as always, hot take 5.